Hello everybody and welcome back to our semi-finals here at EPIC39. I'm Zach. Of course I got Sheep with me looking very smart today. How are you doing this morning, Sheep?
Yeah, I mean, important game. I thought I dressed for the occasion and man, yeah, very early in the morning.
Yes.
Everyone just woke up.
Don't we feel it?
Wolverhampton, it is rising on the Sunday morning. Slowly but surely, but these players are already in the server. They've been here from probably around 8 a.m.
Yeah.
At least. The players have been in. No latecomers, as we had yesterday. We heard later on. We had yesterday on the Royals game. The guys arrived very late. But now everyone's in early because these are the most important matches, of course.
I mean, there's nothing more important than this other than the finals. So both of these two teams are
you need to get there somehow. You need to get there first.
Yes. And that's really what we're here for today. I mean, next in line versus the Neighbours. Of course, next in line a proper team, a full team of players that have played together before, will play together in the future, while you've got the Neighbours who are certainly not that, a mixed team already. Of course, they play in pugs together, but not all that much more competitively. Having a chat with the guys this morning as well, we've seen kind of different takes to the way they've kind of approached this semi-final. Next in line, they had a full sleep last night. They went to bed immediately after the game we casted. The Neighbours didn't do that. They stayed up, watched the watched the UFC, and sort of messed around a bit in their hotel room. Got about 2 hours of sleep. So very different approaches to the semis.
Yeah, that is going to be a difference. They told me otherwise yesterday evening. They said, yeah, we're going to bed, we're going home. But apparently they had some bumps on the way.
Yeah.
Some bumps in the road on the way. And it was, so 2 hours of sleep. I mean, it might just unlock that secret potential that you can get when you're sometimes sleep deprived and still performing.
I mean, Smuja was confident. He did call it a 2-0 this morning. So
he did yesterday evening as well.
Yes.
So he's consistent in that. But he also mentioned, at least to us, a 2-0. But he's not going to say which team.
Oh, right, okay.
So we have that to look out for as well. But, I mean, how was the game yesterday? Like, we talked about it. We have some time to think about it, to talk to a lot of the players. Link's Legacy first, next in line, the game to get here. Yeah. It wasn't really a game, right?
Not hardly, really. A demolition job, I think, is probably a better term for it. Next in line, just wiped the floor with Link's Legacy. Speaking as well, they seem to think that it was mostly because of Link's Legacy's kind of contentness to have got as far as they did.
Yep.
Obviously, only getting 8 rounds across 2 maps played, guys. I mean, not wonderful in a best of 3 as a showing, but equally demolished on Mirage and Ancient. Overpass. And Ancient, I should say. Overpass, I think they picked up 5 rounds. Ancient, they picked up 3. Either way, both of them are pretty bad. The difference between 2 rounds, it's not massive. And next in line, as far as Link's Legacy concerned, it was an underperformance from them. But for next in line to take advantage of it in the way they did, the aggressive plays, the way that they played around each other was very, very good. You could see also the elements of Dutchy's IGLing, and that it kind of it gives the freedom the players the freedom to do kind of whatever they want. They can move around, they can call things themselves. We did see that yesterday. We saw players taking the initiative. Zulu, Otto B, both of them oftentimes were taking a lot of like aggressive engagements, which normally under an IGL you would assume they would say no, don't do that. But of course they get that little bit of extra freedom, which you like to see, really, that flexibility.
Yeah, for sure. And it is pretty different to the preparations that the Neighbours had in the game previous. Of course, it was already a way earlier game on the day, but they started to play against 7 a.m. It was also an Ancient. So both of these teams, well, the games from the Neighbours, they were a bit closer. They nearly got the comeback against 7 a.m. But for this very map, the vetoes are ready. So let's see where these teams will battle it out for a spot in that coveted final next to 7 a.m.
Very surprising as well. Next in line, we're expecting Neighbours to ban Vertigo. They really thought that one was going to go straight away. Insta-ban from Next in line, banning out Mirage. We expect that every single time. But,
yes.
Neighbours, speaking to Dutchy, really thought that Ancient would be the second map of the pool. They actually thought it would be Neighbours' pick. So the fact that they've picked Vertigo straight away, they know that Neighbours aren't confident on Vertigo, that they don't love to play that map. As individuals, not so much as a team, of course, a mixed team picked up. Of course, they may enjoy Vertigo a little bit more, but it is, on paper, one of their weaker maps, so that's the one they're going to go for. Overpass then picked by the Neighbours. That was expected by Next in Line, and Cohen Nuke as the decider. I think everybody kind of saw a ban similar to this coming. The big kind of red flag for me is the fact that we're on Vertigo first. I think that could be a really quick map pickup from Next in Line.
Yeah, that definitely could be, but also I have a feeling somewhere. I mean, we had it with Royals, and I sort of sugarcoated it because apparently it was just a straight up mistake in the terms of the veto. But, and this is a big but, I don't think the Neighbours would make like a similar mistake. So seeing them purposely get Ancient out themselves, even though they've played it quite a lot, I think it does say something about maybe how deep their strat book has been. And how they're playing on the tournament. I mean, they had 30 rounds on it against 7 AM. You're going to get a lot of information on that map if you're Next in Line. And I know for a fact that they've watched that game back and they've joined the demos, watched the stream back. But
yeah, the one benefit they've got, of course, is that they're playing on the CT side, Next in Line. Or you assume they're going to pick the CT side. Of course, in a best of 3 for people at home, whoever picks the map doesn't get to pick the side, so the opposite team pick the side. So, for example, on Vertigo, our first map going in, it will be Neighbours that get to pick the side that they choose to go on. So I imagine they'll choose CT. Could always end up going T if they feel like they're going to do better on the T side. But on Overpass, you would assume that Next in Line will pick that CT side. And we saw, of course, Neighbours lose 12-3 when they played that map against 7 AM. On that T side when they were pushed onto the T side. So, yeah, a difficult one for them. But just looking at the stats as well that our admin kind of gave us this morning, just to talk through.
Yes, give them to me. Give me the numbers.
The level of play of some of these guys just in this top 4 bracket throughout historical Epic lands, throughout HLTV ratings. You can look through Smooya, who's on the Neighbours, has the highest of any player in the top 4, a 1.5 rating. Vacancy is at 1.33, of course, playing for 7 AM, who are already in the final. Same goes for Zai, who's on a 1.31. Wolfie then is the next closest for Next in Line, who's down at a 1.29. Still very good, but a lot lower than Smooya, who sits at the very top for the Neighbours. Expected, of course. The man's got a pretty illustrious career at the top. He's been around the block a few times.
A few times, yeah. Yeah, he's had a few runs, but I mean, I don't really think that the individual performances are going to matter that much. Aren't going to matter that much in this game starting up, because I think both teams are going to be relying somewhat on some individual heroics from either Wolfie or Smooya, and I'm looking very, very forward to starting this up. It is Epic Land Summer Edition 39. We are at a one-off in Wolverhampton, and we are here with the lower bracket final. My name's Sever Sheep. I'm here with Zach Ria, and it's already the pistol round. Take us through, Zach.
Yeah, and the first kill comes through from Wolfie, the player to watch on Next in Line Esports, the stand-in as well, as he finds Bever pushing forward. The bomb going to go down from Dutchy, nice and easy, but Extinct jumping over the top, jumped over, managed to get the headshot on towards Otto B as they look forward. Zulu goes down to Extinct, a player that's been on fire so far in this competition, just looking for the retake on towards the bomb site. Nobody peeking in just yet. Next in Line holding their nerve, waiting for the players to push forward, but Extinct finding another one, looking for even more, gets the third of the round, and the final one on the sandbags. They know where he is, goes for the knife kill, missing the shot, though his teammates find it. Smooya with the headshot, and the Neighbours taking the first round of the semi-finals. Next in Line Esports. The T side doesn't quite work out, but at least the bomb's gone down.
Wow, that is another fiery start. We've been having them in every Next in Line game that we've casted. These guys just, whichever way, if it's them on the favorable side or not, still every single start of these games we see some fireworks, and yet again, Extinct. That's a very good start from a player that sometimes is or can fall victim to some rough starts.
Yeah.
But having him now already warmed up, that is some very good news.
Very well played in that first round as well on the retake from Neighbours. They're not just relying on the individual plays from Extinct. You could see on the map the way they were playing around him to support him. I mean, when he ran out of bullets, there was someone there to find that kill on the player on sandbags. It is that individual brilliance, but done a really solid job of finding it, and just a clean round coming through from them as well. Yep. I mean, hardly something to commentate over even, because it doesn't even look like they've purchased up the way this round's going.
It is a force buy anyway, though. We noticed at the same time, we were just checking, like, oh, well, they're playing really slow. They must have Glocks. But no, they bought full Glils, full AKs, and the Neighbours, I think they're trying to make a statement in these first few rounds, and this is something that is very good news for the Neighbours starting up, going along in this game as keeping everyone alive. They kept most of them alive in the pistol round, so lots of armor carried over. Now everything carried over, and now they still have the opportunity to play against Glocks. Already an AK upgrade on Dobbo.
Yeah, it's lovely for them on the CT side. It's the opposite of what the Ts want to happen when they've invested so heavily into the second round. You're expecting at least a kill going into it, but by doing nothing to them, it allows the Neighbours to run away with it. The economy is getting far better. I mean, Bever dying there, you could look at that and say, oh, well, at least they've got a kill, but he's managed to find 3 of them and then traded 1 for 1 at the end. It's only Otto B left. The damage to a single man with an MP9 is nothing, and the rest of the players are playing very, very smart to just sit on that bomb, not over-aggress. They've got AKs, they've got M4s. You don't need to go any further. Just let them come to you, wait for the pistol to push forward. Otto B 100% is going to go for it. You know that he will. So just sit, wait, and find him at the very end.
Yeah, and Otto B didn't even get a glimpse of the people shooting at him, as one arm was enough to spray him down through the wall. I mean, as well, Bev just going at for the push, and when pushing, I mean, he was looking to throw away the MP9 anyway in this round.
Yeah. He won't have needed it. It's smart of him to upgrade because they've got the money in the bank, so really no need to do anything more. And an aggressive play already as well. To push forward like this, it's aggressive. It may well end up being something that we'll call smart, but it does depend how it goes.
I'm very fond of the ambitious call, as Wolfie just straight up through the tarp. I think that wasn't even a spotted spray. He does get one. Smuya able to equalize. Full flash. There's 2 more players here from the CTs. This shouldn't be trouble, as Adam and Dobbo both getting 1 frag on the ramp, and instantly you see Zulu and Kappa sort of realize, like, wait, 4 of them were here. How can we get through now? And then perfect time on the fallback, on the fall away, and Kappa 1 versus 3. I mean, I've seen the Finn do it. It would be a very good moment to get a clutch, but
I don't think as a T side as well you can expect 4 players towards the A bomb site to peak in that way as well. The manner in which they're doing it is almost antithetical to the way that you expect CS to be played. They're peaking kind of 1 by 1 into the angles, the same angle every single time. It's not something that players are going to keep watching. They're confident that somebody's going to peak, in a different direction, but 3 coming in from the same spot, it made it very difficult for them. They do at least have an opening here, as Kappa does find the first of 3 needed to win the round. And that flash over, not going to catch him out, not going to stop this blood from flowing, but Dobbo with a nice little kill there to finish off Kappa. Expected from the Neighbours. They do have that aim, they do have the spray patterns down on lock. And next in line, Esports still yet to get in this early morning matchup in the semi-finals. The Neighbours well ahead.
Yeah, and 4-0, of course, second AK buy in a row for next in line. And the thing was, it wasn't even like a sort of premeditated stack. Like, they were just very decent on the rotates, and of course, Beva going down first. Someone else filled the gap, but yeah, even 3 more then. And still, like, they were somewhat peaking, but they were peaking like the second line of advancement that was available for next in line, so they were still quite in their cover. But now already Beva again falling quickly. This time it's to the IGL for next in line.
What an HE. Yeah. Perfect. It only could have been better if they'd had a molly for the position, because Adam, he's taken 45 damage, 55 damage. They should be checking it, but
I don't think they want to use the Molotov for it.
They're waiting for him to push through. Adam, he's not been checked, and he's found 2 kills from that position. Should never be doing that. Zulu and Kappa at least do find 3 more in the meantime. There's only Dobbo left. He's playing over the smoke, getting the first, spraying down for the second, not able to get the second through the smoke. It's only Zulu left. The Zulu takes it. Next in line, playing with fire at the end, though.
Oh, that was something. Not checking Adam on sandbags after just throwing in a single grenade. That might have been the mistake to be made, but we see Kappa. Instant 180 to kill Adam on sandbags. Instant 180 back to take down the kill on short. And somehow next in line come out in a 1v2 or 2v1 there.
Yeah, without a doubt a mistake. Well played to equalize it, to get those 3 kills, but individual brilliance has really made up for a huge mistake in not mollying that one out. You should know better as a team than to do that. Dutchy getting that kill on Adam. I mean, the economy's a little bit mudded with Dutchy playing on a Mac 10 and the Khalil as well on Kappa and Wolfie. The T-side economy should be doing better than this at this stage in the game, but obviously have struggled a little bit to get into it. That 4-round loss bonus, not quite eking out as nicely as the 5 rounds, and Smooya may well be in for a kill here as Wolfie, he is watching the angle, he is looking in towards it, but he just moves ever so slightly. Any of these players shift up a little bit more than they should be, and Smooya is getting a free kill, but well, backing out before we can see any fruits of their labor.
Very slow setup, and now the patience is tested by Neighbours, and that test, they might have the wrong answers for it. Next in line are going to walk into a straight empty bomb site.
Yeah, lovely for them. As 2 players rotate from elevator, the timing is actually quite good for them to spray through the smoke. I don't know if they've got a molly or an HE grenade even to stop the plant. They absolutely do not. Nothing, in fact, to be able to retake, just waiting for players to peek into them. And realistically, at this point in the round, they should just be giving up. Save those 4 weapons. There's no real need to linger, and it's exactly what they're doing. It's only Beva that's remaining in place as he starts spraying forward. Does miss the shot, and Beva, you would expect him as well to be calling at this stage in the game, but it's actually Smooya that's calling for the semi-finals. I did speak to them before. They've been swapping roles around as the former IGL ends up losing its head, but they've been swapping roles throughout the competition. Smooya has been calling for some of it, Beva's called for others, but yeah, it seems to be all Smooya at this stage, I think, wanting to test his IGLing skills more than anything else, and well, not the best in that one, as next in line pick up a second.
Yeah, I mean, it's not coming from nowhere, right? There's definitely a vibe in rounds that you're getting. And even considering the second round that was a full force vibe, but still, next in line got absolutely shut down. I mean, still in those rounds, it does yet have a different feel than we had, for example, yesterday, in terms of the blowout potential. I think we pretty much everyone is expecting a close game here.
100%. I mean, even next in line have said as much, that they're expecting this one to go in their favor now that they have picked Vertigo. It's a little bit of a surprise to both teams that were on this map in the first place, but next in line expecting to win on it. Of course, it is their map pick, so you would think as much, but next in line are just waiting for some semblance of victory. You can see as well, Beva, he's on the 5-7. That's because he lingered in the last round, but doesn't really seem to matter, as Neighbours are picking up kills left and right at the moment. Untraded as well. They've done 50 damage, but what's 50 damage when you found a kill?
Yeah, and it's on a round where 2 guys are on 5-7s, right? And they keep getting these advantages. Otto B, very good frag through the wall. Beva coming in to support with the 5-7, but they've turned it around somehow, some way. They manage with entries into the B-bomb site to bring it back into the 2 versus 2.
Has to be Smooya. It has to be Smooya at this stage. Adam, he's got nothing on him. He's just got a 5-7. And unless he can really pull something out, as he does shift in behind, players aren't looking towards him, but Otto B finding that kill should be the nail in the coffin. Adam needs an incredible amount of luck at this stage, and luck he does not have. Wolfie sprays him down at the very end, and well converted by next in line from a really dangerous position in the 3v5.
Yeah, I mean, it was around just the 3 safe rifles. I say just, but they did do some good work in the beginning. But mentioning, that was a really good round from next in line. I just 3 versus 5, going all 3 straight into the B bombs, just shutting down everyone. Auto B with the wallbang onto quad. It's something I wasn't expecting for next in line in that round, and that is some good news for the bit younger roster. As again, Zulu now, we've seen him have some ridiculous performances yesterday, and his consistency is continuing today.
Yeah, and just to build off what you said as well, yesterday, of course, next in line, relatively unchallenged late on in the night. So we never really saw them in 3 versus 5s where they had to convert them. They had to kind of push through those, especially on the T side. I don't think we saw that at all really yesterday. So good to see that they do have some fight in them, despite a lack of prep really in the sort of semi-finals, before the semi-finals, as it were. As next in line look to go towards the A-bomb site. The smokes go down once again. This time they're a little bit better prepared, but again, Adam has a single flash, and that is all they've got to retake the site. Neighbours, they seem to be throwing out a lot of their util very, very early, and next in line taking huge advantage of that. It's on Extinct, though, coming in behind to find 1, to find 2, to look for a 3rd, as Kappa shuts him down and finds a 2nd as well. It's on Bever instead to come from the expected angle in the 1 versus 3. You would hope that Extinct maybe could do a little bit more, a hero play from behind, as 2 kills have been found, but Bever unable to find anything more than that, jumping away, but Wolfie's not even going to let him save. 4-4, next in line Esports equalising well and looking like they've got something to them.
Yeah, no one on the server yet really running away from the rest. Everyone is pretty equal in terms of fragging. Of course, Extinct at the moment leading that scoreboard. Once again, and you mentioned, they throw a lot of util early on. They also didn't have a lot of util early on. And next in line, they just seem to like slowly erode their way through this defense. Time and again, they haven't... I don't think the Neighbours have ever had the first advantage on the ramp fights.
No, I think there was one round where they found a few kills on the ramp, but outside of that, they're throwing the util. They're not even challenging it anymore. They're just playing backwards, but the kills are all coming through in favor of the T side. That one was well played by Bever, who on the 5-7 does find 2 kills as these players going forward. Actually very well converted by next in line. The eco round isn't going to scare them as much as I was expecting it to after the 2-for-2 trade. They equalize, they kind of recenter themselves, I guess, in that round, make sure that they're all playing around each other, and the 3 versus 3 very quickly ends up as a 3-0.
Yeah, it's we've yet to see some like somewhat unique strategies, right? It's been quite default as of yet, as now we do get another typical setup from both teams. So I think the weird strats, some weirdo strategies will come out a bit later in the game. If it keeps being this close, then we need to pull off some unique stuff, some pushes here and there, some outrageous plays, but for now, we're still going pretty default, only with Extinct already gone down.
Yeah, great start again for next in line. They found the first frag. It's on one of Bever, or, well, anyone else posted up across the map to find something more. Neighbours will be plucking for something as the players continually look around at this stage. A single player in Wolfie sat outside the A-bomb site, the rest just shifting around, I think. That's towards, actually it is the bottom of ramp. They are starting to move over towards A. Molotovs go through, which does prompt Bever to start throwing his util. But again, late on in the round, we've got a nade and a flash only in this one. If they do just wait till that kind of 30-second, 40-second, 20-second mark and rush towards one of these bomb sites, it's going to be really difficult for the Neighbours to hold it. It's all going to be these engagements, and that's exactly what's happening as next in line shifting towards the B bomb site. And I think this is exactly where it's going to be. Dutchy tries to bring the rotation. Does unfortunately lose his life in the meantime, but it's all on Dobbo at this stage. Finds the first, flashed off for the second as he disappears. Otto B playing through middle, his teammates rotating on towards the B bomb site as Otto B continually looks for a little bit more players waiting to try and find this orb with 10 seconds left on the clock. They've hardly got the time to find it, but Dobbo getting that kill. I think that's all she wrote for next in line in this round. Has to find all 3 kills. He does get 2 and looking for the orb, but time is not on his side, and that's a great kill from Dobbo as well to finish it off. But next in line getting close there. I really thought he was going to win the 1v3.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a couple seconds too little for Wolfie to really make a play out of that. And, I mean, Wolfie dying after time, no money in the bank. I looked over. Is he in trouble? And he had 10K. So
I think he even dropped his teammate.
Yeah. So no money received in the round, but still, he is getting that cash in. And, ooh, Beva, I think he definitely got spotted by Wolfie. This is such a powerful position, but there have been so many good counters thus far. And, I mean, yet again, Dutchie just...
I think Dutchie's one of those counters.
Yeah, he's been getting the one-up on Beva time and time again thus far. Beva not having the greatest of times early on the ramp, and Wolfie has already infiltrated.
They are aware of him, though. You can see the plan. Okay.
Well, you say that.
Maybe they're not. I thought they were. As Smooya does eventually die. Players are watching him. Dobbo from one side and Adam from the other, but Wolfie's expertly avoiding them. The stand-in. He's making his way slowly through CT. I think Dobbo is now watching this position, but players have gone towards the B bomb site. The bomb has gone down as well in the meantime as Zulu does begin to plant. Players rotating in. That's a nice
now they're actually going to
go. It's possible. Oh my god, it's possible. Dobbo, he's looking for the final kill. He's looking in the wrong direction, but Adam finds the kill. Neighbours, how have they won that one?
It was Dobbo's very aggressive op movement straight into the bomb site. Like, he got the first kill. Instant still realized, wait, they're still planting. Oh, that second shot, that was an immense shot. Just a rush in straight towards E-Box, knowing they're still on the bomb. Wow, that was out of nowhere, because that was a 4 against 2 at some point?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a 4v2 with Wolfie behind them. Just incredible from Neighbours, and that's the individual brilliance that they've got. Well played to retake the site, and well, you can see why Index and Timo painted them as some of the favourites. Just getting away there, my word. I think he might get caught by the nade, but no, it just does get away. Neighbours have taken a lick of damage at the start. Zulu, of course, also damaged up. Smooya burning, has to move away, not going to get caught. He moves towards the white box. It looks like next in line are really pushing for this B-hop. That's a nice jumping shot from Kappa. Messy, if anything, as Otto B does eventually get extinct, who managed to get away in the previous life. And, well, next in line, they're a man up. They're doing a little bit better, so they'll look towards the A-bomb site, which is where Dutchie's currently exploring.
Yeah, exploring, but finding nothing. He's somewhat of a worse Indiana Jones at the moment, as exploring. Yeah. I mean, I get that the rotates from Neighbours were as fast as they were. I mean, it really looked like they were going to commit. And now it's been a bit careful. Of course, 1 man down. Some way, somewhere, an advantage needs to be gotten by the Neighbours in that peak. That might give it to him again. It's Otto B. He could just stick default. He could just trade it with Dutchie. But now there's so much asked of them. They will report to that Call of Duty. Not sponsored.
It's only a single player as well, and Adam, he has to win the 1 versus 2. The peaking from
wow, yeah, you're never winning that.
No. Peaking. I mean, there was no verticality to their fight, to be fair. So had Adam been sort of aiming at the right angle, he may have got a couple of headshots. But realistically, he's facing into 2 very good aimers, and 6-6 is all they get. I think Neighbours, considering they picked the CT side, they were probably hoping that they'd win 8 or 9 rounds on this map. Instead, they currently have 6, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better as Otto B does get extinct at the very beginning. I think we see this round going one way and one way only, unless Neighbours can do something about it. But something about it they are not doing. The players on the pistols are falling very quickly, and it's left on 2 Deagle players. Ooh, Smooya. Do you think he can do it, Sheep?
Adam and Smooya? Well, no.
No.
Very, very quick answer. I mean, they could get some more kills, as Smooya has just shown. Same angle, I think it was. Zulu, maybe a bit of a greedy peak. But, yeah, Dobbo started to get some good frags in. Wolfie as well. But 6-7. Still, we're going neck and neck. I mean, the thing is, I was 100% expecting Ancient to be... Oh, man. I was
saved an EPIC39 for that, by the way.
I mean, fair point, fair play. But yeah, of the 3 maps, I really thought Ancient was going to be one of them.
I think we all did.
Yeah, and I think this is the map that sort of replaced Ancient.
Yes.
And because Ancient is both a really good map of theirs, but so is Vertigo, but like in a bit more of a scrappier way.
Yes.
As you said, Next in Line weren't expecting to play it because the Neighbours know how good Next in Line is on this map. And we're still here. Found it an interesting video, so that's and it's delivering 6-7.
Yeah, the way that Next in Line are playing, I think you said it before, it's been quite standard so far. But that's because they've just been playing around the CT hold, which has been standard. They've not done anything out the ordinary. They've stacked towards sites a few times, but nothing particularly crazy that's not inspired the T's to do anything crazy in return. And if you're kind of the pace being and tempo dictated by the CTs is kind of like this, well, the T's are going to play it standard. They're going to play it slow, and exactly what we're seeing in front of us now. Neighbours are doing something a little bit tricky with 2 players towards the B-bomb site, but Extinct only going to get the dink through on towards Kappa. The player in the middle of sight as well on default has taken a bit of damage, but Dobbo standing strong against Kappa. I think Next in Line can still be happy with the 1-for-1 trade, though, as the time comes through. Dutchy just smoking towards the right-hand side of Generator. That smoke goes down on. Look towards the A-bomb site. Wolfie's going to be the one that needs to find the entries, and just missing that headshot, spotting the head over the top. Really difficult to see in that angle, but pushing forward even further. Otto B sprints through the smoke. It's standard Otto B stuff as he looks for a little bit more, but Beva finds him, and it's all on Zulu and Dutchy. The time that they've got left to work with as well is not very long, all things considered. And I think B-bomb site's where they're going to, which is a perfect place to go. Zulu 100% sure that they're in CT spawn and nowhere else. Dutchy goes to plant the bomb down, does spot the player through CT as Dobbo continues looking for somebody. I think Next in Line, they could be getting away with a very quick kill here, and Zulu staying strong. He trusts his teammates so much, and Smooya and Dobbo pushing forward may well end up falling to this one. A messy spray from Zulu on the first, but Dobbo finding the headshot on the second as well. Neighbours!
Wow, again Dobbo on the B-bomb side.
I cannot believe that. Neighbours, they have no right to win that one with the positioning. Well played from Next in Line as well. You cannot fault them for the way that they peeked into those angles. It's all Neighbours' brilliance. It's all Dobbo brilliance on that AWP. And 16-7 at the moment in a game that's tied up. This man is unbeatable.
4 HP, all that's left. We saw the first shot come through, and I think with the perspective switching over, we thought, well, surely there's going to be a trade peak, right? Surely. But I mean, now already, very quick rush. Next in Line this time. It's their time to have a bit of a shoddy buy on the eco, on the force buy. Dobbo just calmly in the Molotov, holding his line. That op is feeling fresh. Smooya was warming up with the AWP actually yesterday evening. He was playing deathmatch for about an hour. And this last round, it felt a bit like deathmatch, just with a couple of pieces of util. The Neighbours, they do take the lead off the back of a massive 1 versus 2 clutch from Dobbo. 8-7, the smallest lead possible, and I think it's just going to continue the way it has been going.
Yeah, it feels very back and forth at the moment, and as we said, it was on Neighbours in the previous one to dictate the tempo of the game with the way that they play the CT side. It's now very much on Next in Line to do the same thing. If they're going to play sort of reactive, I guess, to the T-sided push, or if they're going to be the ones that dictate the tempo. They're going to be the ones that go more aggressively, and it seems to be the way that they're going, the way that they're thinking with players posted towards ramp aggressively on the pistol round with no util going down. Wolfie looking away just as the fight may well have come through. It's Otto B that's tasked with holding it as he tries to spam some bullets through. Does only catch the body of some of these players as the Neighbours, I mean, they've got no map control outside of A at this point. So Next in Line, they should be able to tell relatively quickly that it is the A bomb site, and just playing a retake with just the 2 flashes and a diffuse kit seems, I don't know, maybe a little over-ambitious from Next in Line unless they can find these headshots. The first shots coming through from Otto B, not quite finding their target. Wolfie does find one in the end as Dobbo kills Zulu. The P250, players shooting forward, trying something, but bullets getting missed left and right. Finally, Otto B dies as Smooya takes his head off at distance. But Wolfie still looking for something. 3 players playing from headshot, playing from elevator. They are being found. Oh. Bever does get the kills in the end, but my word, that was laboured, that was slow, and that was messy from both sides.
That was some slight BM by the observer, sticking with Otto for that entire take, as we could well enjoy or not enjoy. Depends on who you're rooting for. Seeing 3 magazines completely go to waste with about 2 shots, 2 bullets being hit. This is a very interesting push, though. USP, the 5.7 and the MP9s, it's all what?
Sheep. What happened? What just happened?
That was such a cleanup. They just double rushed. Double-pronged attack. They sandwiched them. Sandwiched them in. Crushed them. As walls moving closer together.
I think speechless is really the only thing I could say to that one. Incredible, I guess, from next in line to find the round. It's vital for them as well, because it keeps them in the game, of course. Well, they were already in the game, but it keeps them close in the game. And the Neighbours have done exactly what Next in Line did in the last round, of forced up, and they've spotted the shadows. Wolfie finding one, knows that there's a second at least around this corner and looking for it. I don't think he's aware that there may be 3 in this position, but playing it safe, playing it smart as he backs away. Smooya finding that kill in middle. Extinct as well, gets one on the Deagle. There's Otto B cleaning up on this Mac 10 that he picked up in the previous round, that we watched him pick up in the previous round, and watching for players to push forward. A nice kill from him as well, expected. You will have heard the drop. The shot through the smoke, though, is aggressive, but it has ultimately landed a tag, which they will have heard. So Smooya needs just an incredible amount of skill and luck at this stage to find all 3 kills, getting spammed through the smoke without any armor. Well, Wolfie gets those all day. 9-9 on the board. This is very much back and forth. Next in line, Esports ahead, I guess, in momentum, but well, nothing else. Literally drawn up at the moment. And, well, you would expect them to pull ahead actually in the game, as 10-9 seems to be on the cards, considering the bye that we're going to see the Neighbours pull out in this one.
Yeah, just one Deagle for Smooya. I mean, I am a fan of just somewhat buying like some upgraded pistols on the T side of these type of rounds.
Yeah.
I have been very happy to see that these types of buys are quite rare on the CT side. Because on the CT side, if you're full ecoing and people keep buying Deagles, it frustrates me till no end.
There's no need for it a lot of the time, and you see it, I think, at any level of CS, there will be a player on the team that says, listen, I'm going to get kills with this Deagle this round.
Yeah,
I'm going to do it.
Never
and
happens.
then they never do. They never do. They'll play an angle very, very confidently and never get the kill. And you see it pro CS, you'll see it in level 1 CS, it doesn't matter. But yeah, the Deagle not doing anything in that round on the T side, of course, Smooya still able to buy, albeit with a little bit less utility. And when I say a little bit less, I mean basically none. But yeah, the CT side relatively comfortable on the other side of things. The way that they've stayed alive, we kind of not highlighted it, but the way that they've kept alive, they've got clearly enough in the tank for at least next round, and then probably the round after that they might have to, if they lose of course, they might have to go on a little bit of an eco round, like a half buy, to then buy into the next. So they've got like very decent economy, all things considered, and well, that's all as a result of them keeping as many players alive as they have.
Yeah. And I mean, Neighbours, we know that they have slow T sides, right? We know that they like to really take their time, get some information in, and stay spread out as well. That is also quite important, as they aren't really focusing on one area of the map. They've looked just about everywhere. Now they're slowly starting to gather, have a gathering, a bit of a T side team talk in TeamSpeak probably. And now on the bottom of B, there is going to be one more smoke thrown in from Kappa, but that smoke, it could also be used as a bit of a one-way. There is support that has rotated in. And that is Dutchy. I think it is on the connector point. Bevan with the first one. Dutchy in the side. That Nate, that gets down extinct.
Bob
That's
dropped awfully as well. He could get this one if he peeks, but he's just not done it.
Oh, that's class. Whoa! What? No way that they're actually going to go for this after that no-scope. That is an outrageous shot by Autob. And now the MP9s, they get sent forward. Zulu as the first man in charge, charging in. Smuya and Dolbo somewhat surprised at this round, especially with Autob in it. It started to get a lot closer. The shot missed, the damage taken. Wolfie is hurt. Autob. Oh, what a position.
Best not get this.
Oh, no, yeah, Smuya, he's aware. He has his mind turned on. And man, that got way closer than expected.
That no-scope is the clip of the tournament so far. I cannot believe he gets away with that. Through the smoke, no knowledge that there's a player behind that. Knows that potentially there's somebody there. The bomb's just gone down, so probably there's someone on the site. Disgusting shot from Autob.
Yeah.
And it's a real perfect summary of his tournament so far.
Yeah, that was something, man. These games, they're a good alarm clock. They are a good way to start up, and that is a beautiful boost. I've rarely seen that being used. And Autob very cleanly falls victim. I don't even know if he's sure where he got shot from there. The Neighbours, like this, the momentum, it swings around like a pendulum, like it's, or something like a metronome. We haven't had one team go for like streaks. I mean, at the beginning, we did have it, and now look at the confidence of Zulu and Wolfie peeking in as soon as those smokes are fading. Wolfie,
2 HP.
Only way Dobbo survives that is just because Wolfie runs out of bullets.
I mean, yeah, Dobbo was dead to rights. This 2
Yeah.
HP, I think next in line hoping it doesn't haunt them at this stage, because it absolutely can't. That was a very slow engagement there.
Yeah.
Wolfie just get a kill on Smuya. Eventually,
9 AM gaming.
yeah, very much shades of yeah, the morning coming through as Dobbo, the one to pry towards the scaffold position, sprinting forward with 2 HP. I mean, you've got to wonder why he's going as aggressively as he is. The bomb does go down for Adam, who needs to win a 1 versus 3 in this position. It's not impossible for them. We have seen the Neighbours do pretty incredible stuff across this event as players pushing forward. They're waiting for that player behind to come through, but it's not needed. Adam whiffing the spray somewhat, not a perfect one that came through from him. And, well, Kappa is happy to take that kill. And not just take the kill, but also save all the weaponry they need. Dutchy picks up the AWP as well. The next in line, once again ahead, but I think I've been saying that a lot today because it's been just so back and forth.
Back and forth, yeah. And yeah, a bit of a difficult situation for the Neighbours at the moment, as the buy is going to be the Hero AK for Smuya. So Smuya's going to be on the Deagle in the gun round upcoming, but now they're going to go for the Hero AK. Again, they're going to go for the boost because this takes a while to figure out. Never mind.
Yeah, not that long.
They have read that absolutely perfectly. So, all right, that was. I thought it would take longer, but these players obviously even better than I already think they are.
Yeah, I thought that more than anything, Neighbours thought they could get away with it again because they hadn't been spotted on the last round. They got the kill very quickly, so they thought, you know what, there's no way they check this corner again. We can do it 2 rounds in a row. No one's going to notice. Next in line, a little bit sharper.
Yeah, you can see through there, but this, ooh, okay, well, the T side, they are getting some kills. They are 1 man up. Extincto misses the shot with the AWP. Wolfie allowed to roam free as this puppy, don't bark, he bite. But that Adam does tame the wolf, but the damage has been done. 12-10 in the lead. This is a late lead and a big lead considering how close we've been. 2 rounds is big.
And Wolfie has been the thorn in the side, really, for Neighbours. He's consistently been showing up. The rest of the team, of course, have played well across this competition and looked good when they've been playing, but Wolfie has just been something else.
What the hell?
Choking Autob.
What?
so aggro. It's perfectly sums him up. Again going aggro and getting a 2k without taking any damage. Took 1 bullet's worth with 33 HP lost, but that's it as he sprints away, gets away with it as Bever and Adam no longer see the light of the server. Next in line Esports, they get away with murder literally in this round, but Next Instinct does get the headshot on Dutchy to open up middle a little bit, and well, the area that he's found, the timing that he's found as well, has allowed all 3 players to come through here. Otto being not 100% familiar with this just yet, doesn't quite know that no players are coming in behind, should be able to assume it very shortly, but Neighbours are cognizant of the fact that he can be in this position and are just playing it so that somebody else comes through. The flash comes over, Otto B gets his 3rd of the round on Extinct, but nothing more than that. Zulu and Wolfie, they need to retake the bomb, not actually planted for the ramp, so if they are able to find just the one, that's enough for them. Dobbo doing the damage onto Wolfie and then swinging for Zulu. Finds them both. Neighbours, a very strong closeout from a position that looked very negative for them. And both teams at this stage are one of 3 versus 5 on the T side.
Exactly. I was going to mention exactly that fact. About the same spot in the half as well. It did change. It was, at that point, it was one of the bigger momentum changes in the first half. That 3 versus 5 win. And looking at the economy for Next in Line Esports now, I think it's going to have quite some effect this time around as well. But these Deagles, of course, Otto B, I mean, that's got to be like at least somewhat tilting the way he got those first 2 kills in the previous round. You're going to get mad at that.
I think you only can be mad at the way that the guy's playing. The alternative is just to go, I guess it's Otto B in front of me, but yeah, that's the sort of play that will have had a shout across the LAN hall, even at this early in the morning. I'm sure the player very excited by a play such as that. I mean, just a ridiculous choice from him, and clearly got the confidence as well, staying with the Deagle, but unable to get anything done in this round. And well, that's their biggest firepower gone. It's only Dutchy that has a pistol of equivalent sort of monetary value, and everybody else just sat around on USPSs. So I think this should be a relatively easy closeout from the Neighbours, and we should see a pretty similar scoreline to what we've seen many times before, which is a ratio of 1-to-1, both of the teams on equal numbers of rounds.
This is some very good results. I was going to say some very communist vibes in these rounds, as we divide it all equally. Don't want to get too political, but 12-12, and we're all good. Everyone, yeah, I mean, it's no one has gotten a stretch, but also quite interesting. No one is really lacking. Like every single game we've casted, every time, even if teams are performing really well, you could always point to like one or multiple players. Like like we pointed towards Dutchy, for example. Start of Overpass yesterday. Yeah, Dutchy was nowhere. Like his team was fragging out. I mean, they were winning, but Dutchy had 2 kills for the first half.
Yes. And
there's no one in the server that you can point to that is similar. 13 and 14 are the lowest amount of kills, and that is very, very decent. Yeah. Everyone is showing up. Everyone can be dangerous. And I think that is exactly why this score is the way it is, as we missed it a bit, but Smuya with a double kill, so flashy that it flashed our screens, has 4 against 3. Next in line, they are trying to wait around a bit. Beva, another very strong peek. This time, it is wide. Dobbo knows exactly how to peek that angle, but Otto B is allowed a 2nd attempt. The HP is so super low. But Adam, what a peek. No whiff this time. Otto B did get the turnaround. Goppa 1 versus 2. Look at the HP. They share about 100. But Adam, nice with Mac 10.
Yeah, well played from Neighbours to convert. And it's pushed them onto an eco round once again. I think the CT side are struggling more than anything at this stage. 14-12 is almost guaranteed unless they've got anything to say about it with the buy. They have actually gone with a heavier buy than I was expecting, just with with a few pistols picked up, and well, That's an indication of it. Kappa making the noise. Now the Neighbours are aware of the buy that they're going to be going against. Of course, they've got better eco-management than a lot of people watching at home, including myself as well. So they will know the economy of next in line roughly, but that gives them a very good understanding of the way that they've probably bought pistols into this one, and they'll be changing the way that they're playing it up just in case. Shifting through middle as Extinct's going to be the one that takes the first fight, and very, very aware of where Dutchy may be playing a headshot on him. And now the legs get moving and looking for a couple of kills on the B bomb site. Players are swinging. Kappa does get one, but two in fact. Shouldn't be getting that many in that position. Extinct watching for players to peek forward. Finds a kill on Zulu. I don't think he was intending to get that one. Glock comes out to fight the player in front of him. Does end up getting Otto B, who has no armor. So, of course, the Glock in that exchange was actually pretty solid. And Dobbo getting the kill on Wolfie as well. Expected from Neighbours, but made close by Kappa's couple of kills earlier.
Very late lead it was. Next in line going 2 up, and now we're back at Neighbours going 2 up. It's been, yeah, man, it's been so close, and now Neighbours. I mean, the final rounds are always the most important. In these rounds, this is where you win these games. 5 against 5 still. Neighbours, they are going for very default setups, and Dutchy this time. He's going for the peek out aggressively. Straight through the smoke on middle. I think he got forced forward. One man down already for next in line. This is not a good start if you want to try and still win it in regulation.
Potentially the worst possible start, I think it's fair to say, to lose a player nothing.
You could fall off the building with 3.
This is true. I mean, all the 4 or 5 players could just jump off the map.
Yeah, I mean, that is one of the dangers of Vertigo. One of the extra dangers.
Mm-hmm. Well,
next
Kappa,
to Kappa holding off angle galore here.
Oh, the whiff, he's missing the shots and he's going to get punished for it. Adam finding the kill on him. The players are pushing on towards the B bomb site and the CTs don't have much to reply on it with. I think 2 players are pushing in behind at this stage, but Smooya's holding it with the AWP. I think next in line would be better off saving.
Oh, no. No, Beva. Okay, Beva took down Dobbo. I think that was by accident. It might have been on purpose just to get the mood in, but I imagine going still being 4 against 3, knowing they're going to save, being 15 to 12 up, I have a feeling they'll have quite the laugh about that rather than get angry at each other that they naded.
Yeah, it's a different vibe if the scores are the other way round.
Yeah, and definitely is.
Yeah, they're the ones losing, but well, they've not even allowed them to save that much. Wolfie's going to be able to drop one of his teammates. Otto B can do the other, but inevitably we're going to see a FAMAS or an MP9 coming into this round from the CTs. They don't really have enough to pick up a full suite of utility and a full suite of weaponry, sorry, I should say, as Dutchy is going to be the one that concedes that one, and a pause comes through as well. I think well timed, considering I'm kind of shocked that we've not seen a pause already, but overtime, they need 3 rounds in a row, and overtime is all they can hope for.
Yeah, it's, I mean, excuse me, that was a bit of a frog in my throat there. Well, I mean, considering the way the game has been going back and forth, no one really lost control. Right, control did switch, like who had the most control. Yep. But no one ever really looked lost as of yet, which is very good to see. So I think with everyone looking calm, there weren't any mistakes being made, pretty much, by either team. Like, it was just, what play have we set up for now? And, I mean, that's when no pauses pretty much were needed. But now, always good when your backs are against the wall. Take a bit of a pause, take a bit of a breath, because Extinct is going to double you up. All the way through middle in the flank. Only Zulu left on short, but Zulu, oh, he's gonna be firing off. Extinct does it. No, Dutchy is this close. Dutchy can be the hero, but he will not be that hero. Smooya with one. Smooya nearly with one more. Kappa, 1 versus 2, Zach.
It's always possible, but the timing on it, he has been spotted out, obviously, just before by Smooya. And the players that are waiting for him know that he's coming from here. He may well be flanked as well by Adam. He's just waiting on towards Ivy. You hear shots coming through in the chat as well, so clearly talking between each other, but the way these guys are split up is relatively smart. I don't think they know exactly where he is. Does get the first, waiting for the second as well as he shifts forward. They're not peeking into him just yet, but Dobbo gets the kill eventually. I thought that Kappa had that one there, but next in line's map pick has gone the way of Neighbours 1-0.
Yeah, that is... Yeah, I mean, next in line... As soon as it got known that they were going to play Vertigo, they were getting very confident it was going to be a 2-0.
Yes.
I am now going to turn around and say Smuya was probably wrong. Because seeing the Neighbours win this first map, knowing we're going to go to the pick of next in line, Overpass, we've seen them play very, very impressively there.
Yeah.
Of course, the Neighbours are also very good on that map. But next in line, I think it was just today that the Neighbours have won this map. I think maybe if they just played it yesterday in a group match, I think it even might have gone different. Probably next in line could have picked it against them for all I know. And I mean, it's with a 16-12 scoreline, right? They changed 3 things, and the win is for next in line, but Neighbours are looking good this morning.
Yeah, a different day, a different scoreline. You're absolutely right. Neighbours looked solid, but next in line looked equally as good until the very end. And I think if you tuned in at the very end, you probably would have got a very different takeaway from the map, because the first 25 rounds were back and forth, really.
Yeah.
And very well played as well by a number of individuals, showed up quite extensively. The one thing I have to highlight is that next in line kind of didn't have that same level of kind of individual performance. Wolfie was playing really, really well, but outside of that, the rest of his team were just lagging behind a little bit. We had Otto B perform some moments of brilliance, but still wasn't 100%. So I think it's just getting to grips, getting to speed, and Overpass is the perfect map to do that. And speaking of Overpass, we are going to that map on the next map, of course. But before we do that, Cheap, I think I do just want to mention very quickly our sponsor, MSI, who have been sponsoring us this weekend for the entirety of EPIC39 and have been really wonderful. I don't know if you own any of their hardware. I certainly do.
I do, and, indeed.
Yeah.
I even own a shirt of them.
Well,
I haven't brought it, sadly. I haven't brought it, but my motherboard and my PC, I'm very happy with it, MSI.
Yeah, so thanks to MSI for sponsoring the stream this time. But... on that note, we are going to throw to a very quick break, 10 minutes before we do jump back in, and we'll see you right then. Bye. Welcome. Screw this. Where's EPIC when you need him?